YouTube and Snapchat and rumbling fuckers. Shake your tits and swing your dicks. You made it to another titillating, sarcasm-soaked episode of the Friday Wrap-Up. Your favorite internet sensation with libation. And before we get today's show kicked off, I want to tip my hat to today's libation. I am drinking a little double-barrel whiskey by Heaven's Door, straight out of Mississippi. Mississippi! 100 proof, smooth as hell, and it feels like a double barrel kind of week, let me tell you. Like an angel's kiss. Okay, so it's been another week filled with delights of all fucking kinds, kids. I'm this far away from a straitjacket, let me tell you. Okay, haven't given you guys a good Dunkin' Donuts story in a while, and don't worry, I got one for you. So last Wednesday, yeah, today's Friday. Last Wednesday, Wednesday morning, I'm on my way to work. I stop at the Dunkin' Donuts, of course, and I'm waiting online for my coffee. And as I turn around, I got my coffee, no problem. As I turn around, in walks a guy with his kid. The kid had more sense than the guy. The kid must have been about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old, 8 years old. The guy, he's got like a fanny pack that he's wearing around his chest like a purse, right? Crocs, you know how I feel about the fucking Crocs, and a mask. Okay, and the kid was dressed normal. The kid was dressed like me. Baseball cap, sneakers, no purse, no mask, no nothing. Just loving life. And here's his fucking retarded father, right? With the purse and the mask and everything. And sometimes, especially in the morning, I mean, I don't really have much of a filter as it is. Obviously, you notice. But sometimes, like, I'll think of something and it just falls out of my face and I don't necessarily mean to say it. It just comes out. So I turned around and I looked at the guy and I said to him, "Do you keep an extra mask in your purse?" His own fucking kid looked up at him and started laughing. Everybody's laughing at this fucking guy. He grabs his kid and he walks out of the fucking Dunkin' Donuts. I know, I'm an asshole. Can you imagine when I'm fucking old? Anyway, so, yeah, that was Wednesday. And then I was watching Channel 12. Actually, I think it was the same day, Wednesday morning. And they put this story up about a fireman, right? Queens fireman. He worked in the Woodside Firehouse. And he died in off-duty accident. I don't know. I think he fell off a ladder or something. But here's why this is relevant. So they mentioned the guy's name. I wasn't looking at the TV. And they said his name was Joseph Mulvey from Long Beach. And all of a sudden, like, I turned and I said, what the fuck? Because when I was a kid, I went to school. I was friends with a kid named Joseph Mulvey. And he moved to, not Long Beach, Point Lookout. So I said Point Lookout. That's what got me. And, you know, he left the school because he moved out of the neighborhood. He went to Point Lookout. So I mean, he was a great kid. You know, we all hung out after school, all together, riding on bikes, doing all kinds of bullshit, you know. And I said, I can't be the same fucking guy. So I Googled it. And as soon as I saw a picture of his face, I'm good with faces, it was his face, just older. He's my age, obviously. They said Joseph Mulvey, 45 years old, from Point Lookout. I saw the picture, and I said, well, this poor bastard. I mean, he was such a good kid. I mean, I don't know what kind of guy he was, but I do remember in kindergarten, that's first grade kindergarten, he always said he wanted to be a fireman, right? And lo and behold, he was. So it was pretty sad. You know, I mean, I haven't seen the guy in fucking, Jesus Christ, 40-something years maybe. But it was sad to hear nonetheless. You know, it hits a little different when it's somebody, you know. He's survived by a wife and 2 children, 5 and 3, I think. He, like I said, he worked at the Woodside Fire Department. So, nice Irishman. So, Joe, salud. Salud. Rest in peace, my friend, and all the best to your family. So, that was that. On another note, McDonald's has announced that they are going to be introducing a new Big Mac, a chicken Big Mac. So they're going to replace the fucking beef patties with chicken patties, And all the 400-pounders are all titillated now and tickling their taints, and they can't wait for it to come out. I wonder what a chicken Big Mac would taste like. Because, you know, you could put that, honestly, you could put that Mac sauce on pretty much a shoe, and it would be delightful. I actually figured out how to make it. I mean, I'm close to it. Believe it or not, there's no ketchup in it. That's the realization I came to. I've been trying to copy that sauce for fucking forever. And one day, I don't know, I had like a little bit of an epiphany, and I said, let me try it this way. I did it with mayo, yellow mustard, some chopped pickles, and a little white vinegar, and paprika. That's what makes it pink. It's not ketchup. And it was pretty goddamn close. So, you know, maybe what I'll do is I'll deconstruct that. Maybe make a Tommy version. Maybe make that on a new version of the show. Kitchen Quickie Air Fried. I've been putting recipes together just for that. Just centers around recipes for an air fryer. So don't worry, your boy's been working on some shit. Okay, so settle down, all you cooking fan, aficionados. And on another note, I discovered something about my family tree last week that I feel compelled to share. Good, bad, or indifferent. You know me, I always like to share. So, get this shit. We're all familiar with Seinfeld, George Costanza. Over the years, while Seinfeld has been popular, it's always been popular among me and my friends. We've seen every fucking episode. It's on reruns. It's on Netflix. Everyone has always compared my luck over the years to George Costanza's, actually. People have even made comparisons between George Costanza's mother and my mother, Estelle. My mother's like a cross between Estelle Costanza and Marie Barone. She looks more like Marie Barone, that's why we call her Marie Barone. But, you know, personality, attitude, pretty much a cross between the two. So, like I said, I've always had this Costanza kind of luck growing up. And now I understand why. I was going through some paperwork the other day, and I came across, my mother had saved my grandparents' marriage license from Italy. And in Italy, they list, you know, like the people that are getting married, and then their parents, and then they list the maiden names of the women in the family, the matriarchs. So, my great-grandmother on my grandfather's side, her name was Antonia Costanza. God damn it, I'm a fucking Costanza. It all suddenly made sense. Imagine, all these years, makes fucking sense. I'm related to the Costanzas. And they're nice. So, there you go. I figured I'd share that nice little nugget to kick the show off with. So, you know, Costanza's, Chopsticks, and Dennis Rodman. Hang on to your bloomers, kids. It's going to be a wild one. So, on your COVID special report. Last week, I said that the CDC finally admitted to fucking up the entire pandemic. Well, this week, the chief fuck-up, Mr. Science himself, Dr. Anthony Fauci, said that he will be stepping down at the end of the year and collecting a $325,000 a year pension, mind you. Okay, nice reward for all the fucking damage this little piece of shit caused. Okay, imagine? So he finally decided to step down after getting everything wrong about the pandemic. Masks don't work, then they work, then they 2 with 3. Just, he even bankrolled the fucking research that allegedly, sorry YouTube fucking censors, he allegedly bankrolled all of the fucking research in the Wuhan lab that led to this. Okay, but he's stepping down. He wants to, you know, so I can tell you exactly what this fucking little shitbag is going to do. He's going to collect this $325,000 a year pension. He's going to run the talk show circuit and talk about how terrible Donald Trump was to him and blah, 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 and how great the Biden administration is with all their fucking retardedness. And then he's going to write a book. He's going to cash out, this little fucking bastard. He should never see $1. He should drop dead of a heart attack. Yeah, all the carnage he caused with all these fucking shutdowns, all the kids that didn't get educated, all the people that died alone because of this fucking guy and his clothes. They made up the whole 6-foot fucking distancing shit. Imagine? Yeah, Mr. Science. Piece of shit. Okay, kids, on another Biden blunder. Well, Biden did it again. He found a new way to fuck something up. So, Biden signed an executive order that forgives up to $20,000 in student debt. Okay, so here's how it works. If you make less than $125,000 a year, okay, or your parents make less than $125,000 a year, the Biden administration will forgive up to $10,000 on your student loans. Big fucking deal, right? If you are in like the lower percentile of, really low income, you get another $10,000. So again, up to $20,000. Now, $20,000 is pretty substantial. 10 grand, not so much. But nonetheless, here's how this fucking turns around and fucks everybody else. Because who do you think is going to end up paying for this forgiveness? It gets pushed off to the fucking taxpayers. And it's said that it could end up costing us almost $3 trillion a year, almost $3 trillion to the taxpayers in a 10-year time frame. Even Democrats, okay, the non-fucking left-leaning ones, even the Democrats are saying this is a bad fucking idea, and he did this just in time, just before the midterms. Why? So he can get all these fucking moronic college kids, okay, to vote fucking Democrat come midterm. Imagine this shit. Now, what if you just paid off your fucking student loans? You got shafted. This is what's gonna end up happening. Okay? This is why it's a bad thing. Listen, I'm all for education if you feel that it'll further your career. Be honest with you, unless you're going into, and I've always said this, unless you go into a specialized field like a doctor, a lawyer, something like that, college is probably necessary. It is, obviously, because you gotta go to medical school, law school, all that other shit. But there's ways around that too. Go into the military. They'll pay for your college. Okay, GI Bill, they'll pay for your schooling. If you want to go to school and take out a fucking loan, hey, good for you. But why the fuck do I need to pay for your loan to go to school? So you can get some useless fucking liberal arts degree? And then here's what's going to happen. All these colleges are going to jack their tuitions up. Because they know they're going to lose 10 grand at least from every person, right? So they're going to fucking jack up the tuitions knowing that this forgiveness is in place. And then the taxpayers are going to end up footing the bill. So the national deficit's going to go up over $3 trillion in fucking 10 years, okay? This is going to further add to inflation. It's going to further progress this recession. God knows how much fucking longer. This guy is a walking fucking retarded disaster. He's an unmitigated, he's a hurricane of stupidity, okay? Him and his entire fucking administration. This is all going to bite us in the fucking wallet. There, you heard it here first, kids. All right. Get your tickets out. We're about to hop onto that maniacal, magical express into mayhem and fuckery. The crazy train's about to leave the station. Open! Woo-hoo! First stop, Florida. I know you thought I was going to say New York City. I'm going to leave New York alone today. First stop, Florida. So, you all know that I'm a big fan of Sylvester Stallone. Rocky, Rambo, the whole nine. So, the other day, on my Google feed, right, I see this article. Because I don't know, I guess because I talk about Stallone, fucking cell phone always listens to you. It popped up. So, I see this. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but Stallone is tattooed from here up. I mean, he's got, like, his chest, his back, and from his elbows up, he's all tatted. Okay, it's to cover all the years of like fucking working out, stretch marks, scar tissue, all that shit. I get it because I'm starting to get it myself. But so he had a tattoo of his wife on his bicep, and there was an article on how he covered up the picture of her face with a picture of Butkus, his dog from Rocky. Now that was actually his real life dog. Fun fact about this: that was Sylvester Stallone's real life dog, and when he was a struggling actor in New York, he had to sell the dog because he had no money. He needed food. So he sold the dog for like $40 to some guy. And then he turned around and he ended up selling the fucking screenplay for Rocky and collecting like 300-something thousand for it. Got shafted there too. So he went and bought his dog back from the guy he sold it to who extorted him for $15,000. Okay, so that was actually his real dog that he had in the movie and all that shit. So Butkus was his real dog. So he tattoos Butkus's face over his wife's face, and I remember thinking to myself, "Oh, this can't be good. This isn't good. That's That's like a red flag. You never tattoo a dog's face over a tattoo of your wife. First of all, don't tattoo your wife's picture on your fucking body, okay? Or her name or any of that shit. Guys do this shit. Girls do this shit. I don't understand why they do any of it, because there's no guarantees in life. You know what I mean? If it doesn't work out, now you're stuck. Now you gotta. So he covers the tattoo with a picture of a dog. So I remember thinking, oh, there's trouble in paradise here. Watch, the next thing that's going to happen is they're going to get divorced. Because what woman is going to stand for you covering her face with a fucking dog, right? So Uncle Tommy always hits the nail on the head. So the next day, I see a fucking thing on my Twitter feed. Jennifer Flavin, his wife, who was an ex-model, you know, she has a beauty key. All these fucking models, they stop modeling and they go into, like, you know, skincare products. Okay? So she filed for divorce after 25 fucking years. Now, a month ago, these two celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary. And they put all these little things on Instagram, you know, I love you, blah, blah, blah. I want to spend the next, 100 years with you. My wife's great. My husband's great. I love this shit, okay? I love how couples, 1 minute, are professing their love on social media, and then 5 minutes later, they're filing for fucking divorce. I mean, God. This reminds me of my days when I was a wedding planner. Yeah, I was. I had an entertainment business. I used to do weddings and shit like that. And every time I would MC a wedding, I would always wonder to myself, I don't know how long this one's going to fucking last. Because 1 minute they're expressing their love and devotion. Next minute, he's a fucking asshole. So, you know, obviously, the rumor mills start fucking churning. Oh, what could have caused a divorce? Maybe Sly's cheating on her. Maybe she's cheating on him. And your boy, Uncle Tommy, got down to the fucking reason as to why they filed for divorce. And it's nothing like you think. Get ready for this, kids. This bitch is crazy. So she filed for divorce because Stallone wanted to adopt a Rottweiler, and she disagreed, and he went and did it anyway. Okay? Now, she said, there was other issues with the marriage, too. But this was the fucking final straw. The fact that the man wanted a dog. Now, here's why I like Stallone. Okay? Aside from, growing up watching his movies and shit, and being a fan of it that way, he's an old school guinea from New York when you boil it all down. Take away all the fucking hundreds of millions of dollars this man has earned over the years, being famous and making movies and all that sort of shit. Mind you, Jennifer Flavin stopped modeling like 30 years ago. Okay? Her skincare products can't do that. I mean, how much money could they have fucking made? Right? So, all she did was license her name to them. That's it. So maybe she earned, a couple of $1 million off of that. The money comes from Stallone. Let's be honest, all right? So, the reason I like the man is because we have actually a lot of similarities. Okay? We're roughly the same height. I met Stallone once, many moons ago. That's a story for another day. Actually, turns out I didn't even realize it was him, and I made fun of him. That's, like I said, it's a story for another day. But he's a nice guy. Honest, swear to God, up and down, he's a nice guy. But we're the same height. Okay? We're both boxing enthusiasts. We're both aficionados of fine watches, although he could afford to buy more expensive ones than I can. But nonetheless, we have the same kind of taste. He's a car guy. He's a dog guy. So am I. All right, so we have a lot of the same similarities. Except he makes a few dollars more than I do. So, and he seems like an old school kind of guy. So the guy just wanted a fucking dog. And this broad wouldn't let... Could you imagine this conversation went, hey, yo, Jen, I'm thinking maybe we adopt like a Rottweiler for the house, you know what I mean? So that's not... No. I don't want any of this kind of dog around. They make me nervous. They make me crazy. No, I don't want any kind of dog like this. Hey, yo, Jen, I wasn't, asking. I was just kind of, saying, I'm going to go get this dog, you know what I mean? And he went out and got the fucking dog anyway. That's why I love the guy. Okay? Not a puppy. Like a fucking full-blown Rottweiler. And he had it trained and everything. And, Sylvester, this is unacceptable. I cannot stand this. The dog is... Hey, yo, like, what are you worried about? Like, I'll walk him and feed him and everything. And we got, like, people who take care of it. I mean, like, shit, I make a lot of money. I pay for this kind of shit. I don't even know why you're even having a problem. Yo, Jen, I did it! You know what I mean? I don't know if she has a Spanish accent, to be honest. It just sounds funny in my head. I mean, listen, he's 76, she's like 54. Dude, she's good looking for a 54-year-old broad. But you know something? Stallone is in great shape for a 76. I hope when I'm 75, I look that good. Because I don't plan on making it to 76. But nonetheless, okay, this guy could get a 30-year-old chippy like that. So, bottom line here is, this is why a dog is man's best friend. Because you can get a dog and... you know, they may piss on the floor or shit on the carpet from time to time. Maybe they bite the mailman. But at no point are they going to divorce you over something stupid and take half of your shit. I don't blame the guy. And I know what you think. Oh my God, he's a sexist. Oh my God, he's a misogynist. You know what I say? Fuck you. The guy makes he's worth a couple $100 million. All right? If he wants to have a fucking dog, let him have a dog. I don't even know what the fuck he's even discussing it for with his wife. So they got 25 years. They got 3 beautiful daughters. Let me tell you something. His fucking daughters are hot. I wouldn't say that to his face because he'd probably punch me. But they're fucking beautiful. So, you know, I love the fact that the guy went on, got the fucking dog anyway. She wants to divorce him. Like, hey, yo, like, you know, get lost. I got my dog. He's 76. He's gonna be dead soon. Let the man have the fucking dog. What are you breaking balls for? You know what I mean? So, you know, that's why Stallone's getting divorced because he chose a dog over his wife and then he covered a picture of her up with another picture of a dog. So, as I salute. While we're in Florida, let's swing over to Miami. So, recently, Mike Tyson was seen in a wheelchair and using a cane, and a friend at the Miami airport, and a buddy of mine, my buddy Eddie, who trained with him, Eddie boxed too, Golden Gloves, we all traveled in the same circles, but Eddie actually trained with Mike Tyson. Tyson came down and, you know, because Eddie was good, Tyson came down and trained with him for a few days. So I ran into my buddy Eddie. He's like, yo, T. He's like, did you see what happened with Tyson? He's in a fucking wheelchair. He's sick. He's got this. He's got that. And I says, I didn't know that. So I started Googling. I saw the picture. And I says, you know what? Let me get to the bottom of this, too. Investigative journalism. So I did. So there was a lot of speculation. Maybe he's punch drunk. Maybe he's, you know, got Parkinson's or anything. But nonetheless, no worries. Tyson is still as mentally irregular as usual. It turns out he has sciatica. So when he was going through the Miami airport, I guess he had a bout of sciatica. And I could sympathize with this. Okay, I know you're thinking, it's extra. He's in a wheelchair. He's using a cane. Let me just tell you something. I have sciatica. And from time to time, it flares up. Okay, it's nerve damage. Like your lower back, your sciatic nerve. And from time to time, it flares up and it locks my back up and it hurts. But last year, I had probably the worst bout of sciatica you could ever have. And I'm a fucking guy that does not feel pain. Like, I have a very freakishly high tolerance of pain. So if I say something hurts, it should kill a regular human being. I had the worst fucking bout of, for like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, I couldn't fucking move. I'm not even fucking exaggerating. I couldn't walk. I couldn't stand. I was walking with a cane. It was right after my foot healed. I decided to tear my garage apart. And I flared my sciatica up so bad that I was like a fucking cripple for a week. And the pain was excruciating. I mean, fucking excruciating to the point where painkillers were not fucking helping. I was taking fistfuls of them and chasing them with vodka. I mean, whiskey, and then like putting all kinds of shit on me. Nothing helped. Nothing. Some Chinese magic medicine actually took the fucking edge off of all things. But anyhow, so I could sympathize with this. So, you know, it's a common thing. Boxers get it. I mean, I only have it not because I boxed, but because I got hit by a Denali once. Again, story for another day. So, I can sympathize with old Iron Mike. All right, next up, DC. So, get this shit. We're in a fucking bad place when Dennis Rodman becomes the voice of reason. Or the go-to for negotiation. So they're sending Dennis Rodman. You know Dennis Rodman, right? From the Chicago Bulls, fucking crazy Dennis. They're sending him to Russia to try and negotiate for this Brittany Griner's release. Now, okay, one freak to negotiate for another freak. That's basically what they're doing, okay? I don't know who in Washington, D.C., I swear to God, he even tweeted, he goes, he got special permission to go over, from D.C., to go over to fucking Russia to negotiate for this woman's release. I don't know who looks at Dennis Rodman and goes, yeah, that's the guy. Send him. Now, oddly enough, he's had some experience with dictators. He was friendly with Kim Jong-un for some reason. Story for another day. Now, I don't understand what everybody's making such a big deal about this fucking Brittany Griner for. Okay? She's a WNBA star. Nobody really watches the WNBA anyway, except for women who just got out of fucking prison. You know, they used it as, like, porn to, like, you know, rub one out. This bitch hates her country, the U.S. She took knees for all the national anthems. She's been outspoken about hating the United States. It's racist, it's this, it's that, blah, blah. So, for the summer, she goes over to Russia to play basketball, right? And this fucking idiot decides it's a good idea to bring a hash pen through the fucking Moscow airport and gets caught. So now she's doing 9 years in a Russian gulag, okay? I say fucking let her rot there. Why are we wasting resources and taxpayer money on this fucking 9-foot bitch, okay, who hates the country? She wants to be an expatriate? Enjoy the gulag. Come back in 9 years. I'll see how much you love the United States. I'm a fungal. So they want to send fucking Dennis Rodman over there. Imagine this shit. Can't make this up. All right, next stop, Detroit, Michigan. So not only... I mentioned this last week about Dodge discontinuing all their fucking gas-powered muscle cars and replacing it with an electric car, which, to add to that story, that electric car, I said because you can't hear the engine, they specially modified the car to make a noise, like an exhaust noise. Basically what it does is it sucks air in through these baffle plates to make to mimic like an exhaust sound. It doesn't sound like that. It sounds like it's whistling, but anyhow. So Ford is jumping on this bandwagon. GM has not made any plans yet or has announced anything yet. I'm sure they'll be fucking next, though. So, you know. But Ford will not only be phasing out gas-powered vehicles, but they're also planning to cut 3,000, you heard me, 3,000 U.S. jobs. Why, you might be wondering? Because of the fucking recession. Good job, Joe, you drooling futz. Next stop, Australia. The land down under, mate. So I saw this story today. This came across my lap, was brought to my attention by a few people. It's like all over the fucking place, so of course I had to mention it. So there's a club in Sydney, Australia, called Club 77 that is now banning staring and checking out people without consent. So let me paint this picture for you. You go into first of all, the only reason that a person goes to a nightclub is to pick up people. What if a girl goes to a club, they're looking to pick up a guy. If a guy goes to a club, they're looking to pick up a broad. Nobody just goes to clubs just to go to clubs. Okay? Yeah, you drink, you dance, you socialize, but the whole angle, the whole goal, have fun and get laid. Always. Listen. Clubs are pretty much obsolete now. I mean, I'm old. Who goes to fucking nightclubs anymore? But, you know, back in the day, I used to own clubs. I used to run them. I used to fucking freak with them. And the only reason you went to these fucking places was to pick up broads. And vice versa, right? Okay. So, this particular place doesn't allow other people to look at people without consent. So, in other words, if you wanted to look at me, you need my permission. So, here's how this is being enforced. They have special bouncers who are supposedly specifically trained to curtail this kind of behavior. If you're caught looking at someone without consent, you're ejected from the club. So now I have questions. My questions are, how do you know who's looking at who? First of all, if I'm at a club and I'm looking at something, I'm not saying staring like a creep and rubbing one out. You look, you go up and down, you check them out, you move on. right? I look at people all the time, whether I like them or not, because chances I'm making fun of you in my head. Wherever I go, whether it be a bar, whether it be like a beach thing, whether it be a fucking store or a Target or something, I always look at people. Not so much that I'm checking them out, because I usually just making fun of you in my head. So if you see me at a bar standing around, I look at somebody's direction, I kind of smirk and start laughing, it's because I'm making fun of that person in my head. Now, my thing is this. So I'm at a fucking club in Sydney. I'm at this Club 77, right? I see somebody, I check them out. How do they know I'm checking them out unless they're looking at me first, right? Okay, so they don't have my consent to look at me, and I don't have their consent to look at them. They're going to throw the two of us out? What if I'm not even looking at them? Maybe I'm looking over their head. I'm looking at a sign behind them. It just looks like I'm looking at them. They're going to throw me out? This makes no sense. And the only people who complain about being looked at are the people that look like a fucking walrus. Okay, you get some fucking animal, some rhinoceros, okay, that just repulses everybody. She thinks everyone's looking at them and mocking and objectifying her. Trust me, no one's fucking looking at you unless they're making fun of you. Okay? So I don't understand how. I didn't think that Australia was filled with this many fucking pussies. This is the outback, mate. This is the home of Crocodile Dundee with the knife. And, Steve Irwin. Remember him? Crikey, look at the size of that boa constrictor. That's the guy that got impaled by a fucking stingray. Crikey, look at the size of that stingray. Oh, dear God. All right, what, too soon? So, yeah, so there's a club in Australia that bans people from checking other people out without consent. My guess is this nightclub will be out of business inside of 3 weeks, at best. They need John Taffer. All right, kids, so your sports update. Major League Baseball. Yankees played. I have to say, the Yankees did beat the Mets in the last series that they played. It was 2 games. I know. You take your fucking victories when you can. I'm still not holding out a lot of hope. At least they beat the Mets in this series. They started their series against the A's last night. They blanked them. Yankees play the A's tonight at 9:40. Oh, because the A's is such an unexciting baseball franchise, I saw this thing. In Oakland, the fucking stadium is basically empty. The A's suck. And this guy and this girl go to a fucking game, and I guess it was fucking horrible, boring. So they're all the way up in the fucking nosebleeds. There's nobody sitting around them or in front of them. The woman starts blowing the guy, right? you can see that all the way from the right field line. They're videoing this guy's getting head. Only in Oakland. Mets and Rockies tonight at 7:10. Phillies play the Pirates at 7:05. NFL preseason. Saints and Chargers tonight at 8 o'clock. The Giants play the Jets Sunday at 1. That's like 2 limp dicks banging against each other. That, I swear to God, that is going to be the most uneventful fucking game. It'll be like a 1-point game. It'll be 1-0. I don't know if the Giants or the Jets will score that 1 point. I don't know. Or 7 points. No, let's say 3. Let's say a field goal. Either way, it's going to be a fucking shit game. Okay? Got some NBA news. We were talking about that whole Kevin Durant shakeup in Brooklyn. Well, turns out he will not be traded. Durant decided to stick around in Brooklyn after all. He agreed to write out the rest of his contract in Brooklyn, and it looks like Kyrie is sticking around too. You know what? These motherfuckers owe us a championship. That's what they came to Brooklyn for. That's what, this is what I hate about the NBA. Okay? I like the sport of basketball. I do. But this is what I hate about the fucking NBA. They let these fucking prima donnas basically run the team. The team should be run by the coach and the GM, and that's it. Okay? Like football, like baseball, there's no prima donnas there. They may think they're prima donnas, but for the most part, but the NBA, these fucking players, you get like 1 or 2 of these fucking like star players, and they're controlling the way the fucking team shapes up. Durant wanted to, he only said he'd stick around if they traded the coach and the general manager. And they only hired the general manager and the coach, Steve Nash, because of Durant. Okay? So, stop. So, Joe Tsai, the guy who owns the Nets at this point, I have to give the guy props. He stuck to his guns and he goes, no, fuck you. I'm keeping the GM. I'm keeping the coach. If you want to go, go. So he goes, yeah, I want to be traded. Guess nobody really was looking too good for him. So he decided to stick around. And because monkey see, monkey do, Kyrie does the same thing. So like I said, I'm not a Kevin Durant fan. Granted, I will say this, he's probably the best scorer in the NBA. Hands down. I'm not a fan of the guy, but I will say that. Okay? Same with Kyrie. Kyrie, when he wants to play, but we haven't gotten anything out of these two. I mean, yeah, we got Close, but Close is a lingerie shop without a front fucking window. You know what I mean? So I don't want to hit his bellyache and this bullshit. Here's my reality. You've been on the team, what? How many years? 3 years? 2 years? And you got us close once to a championship, but no championship. So fucking put up or shut up. You know what I mean? You're not that great. If you can't deliver, you're not that fucking great. You know what? Michael Jordan was able to deliver. You know why? Because the man was a fucking one-man wrecking crew. Didn't matter who was on the team. Granted, the reason they were so successful is because they had the best fucking team in basketball built around Jordan. But even without the team, Jordan was still pretty fucking formidable. So, get with the program. You got two of the top guys in the NBA. He's the fucking best scorer in the NBA. Whether it's from the field or from the fucking, right on top, he should be delivering. So I don't want to hear this shit. On what the fuck is that? We're going to talk about the Chopsticks snack hack. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is that something dirty? No, see, we don't always do dirty things. So I have to say, this is not an original concept. I mean, I didn't come up with it. I was watching this new show on Disney Plus, She-Hulk, and this was like a throwaway thing. They did this on the show, and I thought it was fucking brilliant. Do you ever have like cheese doodles or Cheetos or Doritos or like pretzels that have like that flavored powder on it, and when you eat them, your hands get like if you eat like cheese doodles or Cheetos, like you get like the cheese powder all over your fucking hands. It looks like you got something wrong with you. Now I like cheese doodles, but I don't eat them. Because, again, I get that fucking orange powder. Well, they're licking your fingers like a retard. But they have a hack for that. You use chopsticks. Check this out. So, here's a regular bag of Cheetos, right? You take chopsticks. Look how orange they are. That's usually your fingers. Now, I don't know too many people. I don't eat Chinese food, but I get these from the Japanese place. Whenever I get sushi and stuff like that, I always stop. Because like when I used to eat Asian, like even Chinese food, I like to eat with chopsticks. So if you don't know how to use chopsticks, you better fucking learn how. But check this out. Watch. You go in the bag. You grab a cheese doodle. Oh, look at that. Huh? I mean, how fucking ingenious is that? No cheesy fingers and all kinds of snacking pleasure. I thought that was fucking brilliant. I don't know if that's a TikTok thing or not, but I saw that on She-Hulk and I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking brilliant. So there you go. Chopstick snack hack. You're welcome. All right, kids, on Right or Racist. In 2015, greater than 95% of H-1B visa hires were Indian for each of the 7th largest employers of the H-1B visa employees in the U.S. Now, that's right. If you guessed that was racist, clearly you'd never worked in the IT department of a large corporation, my friend. There you go, Michael. That was for you, pal. All right, your PSA, kids. This is something that has been bothering me for the longest fucking time. Okay? People who don't know how to use Zoom or any kind of technology. Like they can't use their phone. I don't understand. How do I take a picture with it? But the one thing that fucking just annoys me to know it, Zoom. All right? When the pandemic first hit, this was a new concept. Okay? People, oh, this video chat. I don't understand how this works. But it's been 3 fucking years now, okay? If you're in the business world especially, this is a daily tool. So if you don't know how to fucking use it at this point, you should just fucking kill yourself. It doesn't have a camera. It's not working. I don't have sound. Holy fucking shit. What are you, in the Stone Age? I can't. I have people who can't use simple fucking technology. You're useless as a human being at this point. You should call the fucking suicide hotline, ask them for a couple of tips, and then fucking kill yourselves. Okay? Anyway, stay COVID-less, kids. No mask, don't ask. Haters can kiss my ass. And remember, who loves you, babe? It's been your Friday wrap-up, and I'll see you when I see you.